It's the first of a two-game series here at the Millis Center in High Point, North Carolina. I know that word makes it sound like we're talking about baseball, but I promise this is a college basketball presentation on ESPN+, where it'll be USC Upstate at High Point. I'm Darren Vaught. He's Brian Geisinger. BG, Upstate 0-8 on the season. It's a bit misleading. They'll depend heavily on their sensational sophomore Tommy Bruner tonight.
Yeah, Tommy Bruner's their cleanup hitter, right? Top 15 nationally in both assist rate and usage rate. 15 points per game, over 5 assists per game, but also, Darren, 5.5 turnovers per game. Can the Panthers get in transition off perhaps some sloppy ball handling tonight?
High Point missing one of its heavy hitters to keep the analogies going. No John Michael Wright tonight, no Manny Azunabor. In Wright's place will be the lone senior on Tubby Smith's squad, Denny Slay.
Yeah, Denny Slay, the pinch hitter tonight, right? A good veteran guard, solid Big South guard. Unselfish, can he get his teammates involved and hit a couple shots?
So we're ready for tip here at the Millis Center. Lydell Elmore jumps things up instead of the absent Manny Azunabor, as it's High Point with the first possession. Bryant Randleman started 29 games as a freshman, initiates the offense. There's Denny Slay, who we talked about just a moment ago. Hayden Sanchez inserted into the starting lineup. Under 10 to shoot for High Point. A little bit of congestion. Elmore for three. Nearly gets it to rattle in.
A little 1-4 flex action set there for High Point to start things. They actually haven't run as much flex this year as they have a season ago. Elmore, late clock three there.
Nevin Zink goes out to the perimeter. Here's Dalvin White, the team's leader in assists. Aldrich to Zink. 6 to shoot. White for three. Back iron. Elmore gets up for the rebound. Quick outlet, Denny Slay. A lot more of the in-out game for Lydell Elmore. As you see, he's began that possession on the perimeter. Here's Caden Sanchez with a three now. The bigs trying to get involved in the long ball.
A little five-out action here from the Panthers to start things. We like it.
Not typically something that Sanchez is really able to pull out in these scenarios, but he does have it in his bag. Elmore, an even better shooter than Sanchez, got his first three to fall against Eastern Kentucky. That was High Point's last game, the loss to the Colonels. Shot clock winding down. Here's Bryson Mazzone for three. Zink, the rebound and the putback. It's the scoring started. Spartans up 2-0.
28 seconds of good defense from High Point. Panthers aggressive so far. Hard hedging on these ball screens, doubling the post. But Mazzone, wrong guy to leave open late in the clock like that.
Nearly 2 minutes into the game before either team scored. Here's Sanchez backing down Zink. Finds the baseline cutter, Slay. And with under 10 on the shot clock, they reset. Slay wide open for three. Rolls in.
Nice pass by Randleman. Slay, weak side corner. Looked like White fell asleep a little bit off the basketball. Slay relocates for the spot-up tray.
The senior shot 36% from beyond the arc last year. That's his sixth make from deep on the season. Tommy Bruner, a little premature picking up his dribble. Randleman nearly got a hand on that for High Point. The zone with the fake. Tight defense for both teams so far. Bruner pulls. Long board, and the Spartans keep it. Tough look for Bruner. Thud, Sanchez the board. Here come the Panthers.
Like we said in the open, Bruner's going to stay busy. Top 5 nationally in both assist percentage and usage rate.
Bryant Randleman, the sophomore out of Durham. 2 passes. Slay for three again. 6 for the senior, as he's in the starting lineup for John Michael Wright of the Panthers. Wright and Azunabor absent and in quarantine as per High Point University Athletics COVID protocol.
A little Buckeye action here from Upstate. Try to get that weak side stagger. Well defended by High Point.
Another deep into the shot clock possession for the Spartans. Zink puts it off the near side. Sanchez another board. Flowers nearly hit the long shot that was intended as a pass to Lydell Elmore. And a jump ball We'll
now,
get it back to Upstate.
Does that count as a shot?
We'll have to
find
consult
out.
the official statistician. As you see, Stacy Palmore there, the acting head coach for the Spartans in this contest. Now, their third-year head coach is Dave Dickerson, who is coaching remotely this season. Just a number of 2020 things that we can only say that about a couple more days, BG. Bruner in the lane.
And amen to that, too.
Another ugly take for Bruner, and High Point with the offensive possession. Again, that's Bryson Childress just checked in for the Panthers. Good off-ball defense by Dalvin White to keep the shooter from getting it outside the perimeter. Slay, the crossover, out to Childress, 5 to shoot. Drew a second defender there for a second. Good defensive play there by Mazzone to reject the shot and send it out of bounds. 1 on the shot clock for High Point on the other side of the timeout. Ride on our strength. For a retailer near you, visit HerculesTires.com. Back with you on ESPN Plus here at the historic Millis Center. The third-year head coach of the High Point Panthers, of course, in his 30th season as a head coach at the Division I level, Tubby Smith.
Well, that was a great after timeout design with 1 second left on the shot clock to get Holt. A quick look from the post, just couldn't hit it.
Alex Holt, the freshman, just inserted into the lineup out of Lexington, North Carolina. And a foul there will be against Bryson Childress, another freshman on the floor for High Point. 4 freshmen, 1 sophomore for Tubby Smith.
That's the second open good look from 3 Mazzone had. Couldn't hit. A 40% career three-point shooter, though.
Now the inbound by Hammond, Everett Hammond. Gives to Bruner in the corner, and the Spartans trying to get out of this lunky offensive rhythm. That won't help. Offensive foul gives it back to the Panthers.
Yeah, Hammond trying to reject the screen there, and I guess Zeke may have been moving a little bit on trying to set the ball screen.
So now Childress to bring the ball up. Gives to Jaden House. Knocked away, nearly stolen. There it is. Bruner comes away with it. Perhaps a good foul there by Jaden House to stop the momentum and stop the fast break.
These are going to be the tricky half-court possessions for the Panthers without Bryant Randleman or John Michael Wright on the court. And who's the guy, or Denny Slay, who just checks back in. They need somebody that can control the offense and create off the dribble a little bit.
Slay, the senior, in, and now some deliberation between the officials for today's game. Referee is Jeff Pond. Umpires Scott Arbogast and Chase Shaw. And it looks as if they're looking for a reset of the clock. 27 rather than 20 on the shot clock. And play resumes. Cartier Jernigan.
Little horn set there. Slice cut.
Jernigan again down to Zink, who got a wide open lane on the baseline, and then a bump check from Alex Holt.
Upstate runs really good stuff on the half court. I was impressed with what I saw against Winthrop and Tennessee. They have good sets, good actions. They screen, they cut hard. I think this is like a cliche thing to do, but they're better than their record indicates. They've played good teams. I think they take good shots. I like what their shot chart looks like.
While Nevin Zink, the 65% free throw shooter, takes his shots. Make sure to keep your eyes wide open, fans, during the game for I Spy Prowler. Prowler will be placed within the stands with special logos on his sign for every High Point basketball game. And the first email, sportsmarketing@highpoint.edu. With just one of the specific logos, wins a prize provided by HPU Athletics. Both shots fall, courtesy of Zink, and it's within 2. So Slay provides some experience for the lineup. There's Eric Coleman Jr. Holt fires for three. Well off, and the rebound goes down to Jernigan. Spartans pushing the tempo. Bruner back to Jernigan. Kadarius Smith there. Gives to Everett Hammond. And contact drawn. It's just a lunky game so far, BG, for both sides, really.
Not a ton of flow. Most stuff taking place in the half court. A little choppy.
That's Alex Holt's second personal, so he will exit. Caden Sanchez back in. So the only two fourth-year guys on Tubby Smith's roster now on the floor, and Denny Slay and Caden Sanchez. Pull up from Hammond. Good one-handed rebound by Coleman there. Childress the feed underneath Sanchez. House fires from deep, and Hammond a little aggressive on the box out. We'll get House to the line to shoot three.
Caden Sanchez is so unselfish when he gets the ball down there. I mean, he likes to face up and look for his own shot, and he has a decent little up and under move that he breaks out from time to time. But he's really looking to kick back out and distribute.
Now 7 of 13, make it 8 of 14 so far this season from the line in his debut campaign with the Panthers out of Middleburg Academy in Richmond, Virginia.
I like Jaden House's offensive game. He's got a good little first step. He can play in transition. Just the handle's got to get a little bit tighter. You can see it when he tries to go against the set defense in the half court, get that thing, gets the ball poked out. Weak side defenders dig, get steals.
This is number 2 and 3 of the free throws, so 1 point out of that for High Point. Zink at the elbow, the starting point for the offense. Now Jernigan with a tough fall away, and another strong board by Coleman.
Good pick and roll defense from High Point there. Well covered up on the backside of Bryson Childress.
Here's House putting it on the floor like you said. Nifty pass. Sanchez loses it. Then House can't grasp it and slaps at it, fouling Nevin Zink. That's a couple of cheap fouls for Jaden House, too.
Creative find there for Sanchez. You know, Caden couldn't pay it off, but nifty little dish there.
In comes Emil Flowers. That's House's second, team 5th foul for High Point.
Elevator door there.
Bruner still scoreless. Jernigan, nice find on the baseline, and Hammond gets it to go and the foul.
This is like what I'm saying about Upstate. They run good stuff in the half court. They start that play with a little side elevator, back screen to the weak side, and they come back. Good find by Jernigan. Backdoor cut, Slay, beaten by Hammond. But think how many times the ball changed. How many sides of it changed sides of the court? How many times there? At least twice on that possession.
Hammond 63% from the line this season. One and only chance goes down to Slay, nearly tipped out by his teammate. And now the Panthers with it, ahead by 1. Slay, a couple of threes made already. And here's Emil Flowers. Gets into the lane, lofts it up, off back iron. Contact was there, no call. And the Spartans now in transition. Hammond switched hands on the pass. That was nifty. Extra pass again, Jernigan for 3. Can't get it to go. Hammond, that hustle, nearly got another one to fall. And Zink with the offensive rebound and the cleanup job to give Upstate its first lead.
It was good ball movement and transition by Upstate. They flattened out to the corner, reversed it. A couple offensive rebounds paid off the possession.
Coleman for 3 off the Childress assist, and Eric Coleman gets his scoring night going.
Well, that's huge. You know he's capable of doing some special things offensively. Can be a bit streaky, though.
Last year, in the one game that Upstate played here at the Millis Center, Coleman was the team's second leading scorer behind John Michael Wright as Hammond, another aggressive. in the historic Miller Center as Everett Hammond goes to the line to shoot 2 for USC Upstate. Makes the first. And draws it back within 1 for the Spartans. Hammond 63% on the season from the charity stripe. Now 1 for 2 is third on the way and in, tie ball game. Panthers really pushing the tempo as Bryant Randleman and Lydell Elmore back into the lineup for Tubby Smith's crew. A lot of bounce out of that timeout. This game had just been dragging on a bit. Randleman. Coleman for 3 and it rattles through. He's 2 for 2 from deep.
Really nice movement there from Coleman. Late clock. Like, who are you going to go to without JMW? He's your escape button, your escape hatch late in the possession. There you go, Eric Coleman moving without the basketball, relocating for another spot up 3.
Coleman had really great flashes in his freshman year last season, emerging as the second most reliable scoring option behind John Michael Wright. Here's Kadarius Smith. Lydell Elmore with the block. Here's Childress for 3. That quick release drops in and rips the bottom of the net.
That's his game.
High Point has made 4 of its last 5 from 3.
I would tell Bryson Childress to get up as many threes as possible tonight without JMW.
Hammond at the perimeter. Goes down in the post. Smith, nice little baby hook.
Good touch. Lefty.
Smith's first points of the evening with just under 10 minutes until halftime. Childress had a window. He's capable of getting a shot off really quickly. Now Randleman to the rim, and it's knocked away by Smith.
That was a great block by Smith.
And the lead pass to Hammond, just a bit too strong. Goes out of bounds and gives it back to the Panthers.
I know Randleman got that blocked, but nice seeing him use the right hand there. He's so dependent on that strong left hand of his. Even though he got the shot pinned, that's still a nice attempt there. You see Bryson Childress. Doesn't need a lot of room. Man, he's got great range.
Childress shooting over 48% from 3 as a freshman for High Point. Something that Tubby Smith's most recent teams have really craved over the past 10 years or so. Is prolific three-point shooters. Coleman with the pump fake on the 3. Gives to Elmore in the lane. Nice little pro hop and got it off.
Eric Coleman's making some plays for High Point late in the shot clock. Nice dish to Elmore.
2 for 2 from 3 is a good start. You draw a lot of attention that way, right? Hammond split defenders with the dribble, and it rolls in. That's a tough, gritty basket.
Yeah, we talk about Bruner as the guy that makes stuff happen for them off the dribble, but Hammond can do the same thing. He's been very busy tonight in the half court for the Spartans.
2 for 4 from the field. 6 points for Everett Hammond now as High Point ahead by 4. Elmore looking for movement. Randleman gives it to him. And a nice shot by Bryant Randleman. There was that left you were talking about.
They inverted the offense there a little bit. Have Bryant Randleman as the one guy in the middle.
Hammond drives into the help defender. Picks up with nowhere to go.
Where's Elmore?
Flowers. Elmore slams it home. They call him Flydell for a reason. And that is quite the High Point run. They lead it by 8 with
dunk number 13 on the season for Elmore. Has had at least one dunk in 7 straight games. And he deserved that one because I know Flowers got the steal, but it was the deflection from Elmore that triggered that transition opportunity.
Been a few of those highlight plays for Elmore so far this year that have been started with an Emil Flowers stolen basketball. There's Dalvin White for 3. And Upstate gets its first make from deep. They needed that.
Nice pass from Zink out of the post. Skip to opposite wing. Catch and shoot 3.
The Spartans are going to need more of that if they want to counter High Point's attack. The Panthers have made 6 of their last 7 from the field, 5 of their last 6 from 3. Coleman penetrates mid-range. Elmore, good.
Eric Coleman's playing a great game. Pump fake drive. You see him drop that leg, able to get by his defender.
That's his 3rd assist. The sophomore really showing up. Nice look underneath, but Zink too strong.
That was a great pass by White.
Slay with the mid-range in transition, and it goes through. He's got 8 points, the senior, feeling good.
Clearly, if you're going to take a pull-up shot like that in transition, you must be feeling good.
Up to a 9-point High Point lead. Zink draws the double team, now triple teamed and fouled. Looked like Coleman had a hand on it, but I would assume body contact elsewhere, as it will go against Flowers, the personal foul.
Yeah. High Point got it caught on a little bit of a cross match in the post. Flowers was the primary on Zink. Elmore had to shade over as like a soft double, didn't fully commit. Zink went right to the rim.
Nevin Zink draws a lot of attention defensively out of High Point. At the conclusion of that play, like we said, triple teamed. And it was 1-1. He bangs it off back of the iron. And it'll stay with High Point. Josh Aldrich charged with the personal foul, the junior from Wilmington, North Carolina. His first. Team 3rd for Upstate.
Horn set.
Slay into Coleman. Jab step. Aldrich not giving him any room, so they go back up top. Childress thought about the 3. Now to Coleman. Under 10 on the shot clock. Has it taken away at the block. Regains it. Elmore goes up and got smacked on the arm. So Lydell Elmore to the free throw line to shoot 2.
Another nice hustle play by Elmore. But, like, you can see just how much gravity or how much respect opponent teams have for Childress, right? Like, when he's coming off those handoffs and those down screens, teams have to respond and cover him a little bit differently because they know he has great range. He can get the shot off quickly. High Point can play off that advantage even if the shot isn't there.
Elmore, the grad transfer from Livingstone. It's his first of 2 to go. Now 7 of 13 from the stripe. His 14th en route. And in, making it an 11-point lead for High Point, their largest of the day. Tommy Bruner still scoreless there at the top of your screen in the corner. But they'll go to Zink again, and that's a goaltend, but Elmore, man, he's got some hops, doesn't he?
Ridiculous. You could see it coming, too, from the backside, and you knew it was going to be a goaltend, but I'm still glad he went up and swatted the thing out of there. The hope is that next time, Zink gets the ball on the block, maybe he's thinking about where is Lydell Elmore.
I mean, it's one of the more impressive demerits in all of the game of basketball, as the basket counts for Upstate. 5.5 to play. Randleman catch and shoot to Slay, and it's in. The senior is 3 of 3 from beyond the arc, and a 12-point lead for the Panthers.
Well, we said it in the opening. Denny Slay's a good Big South guard. Nice job by Randleman. Rejects the screen, drives right to his offhand. Another catch and shoot bomb for Slay.
First player into double figures. Slay has 11. Here's Mazzone with a deep one. And it's in.
He's an excellent shooter. Really, really good shooter. Good size.
Just the second make from deep for Upstate. They're now 2 of 7 from beyond the arc.
That doesn't happen by accident with Mazzone. Like, he is a gym rat, too.
Elmore wants to get in on the three-point shooting party. It rattles off. Mazzone the board. Dalvin White going underneath. Upstate's offense running through Zink so far, and he got by Coleman for that layup.
Yeah, it's a tough. High Point tries to double, but Elmore comes from the middle. Zink able to spin baseline.
High Point slowing things down. Randleman, center of the floor, got smacked on the wrist by Bruner. That's team foul number 5 on Upstate, so just possession for High Point. Bruner's first personally, but as I mentioned, the team's leading scorer, he's still pulling an offer in this one. Missing all 3 of his shots so far. Flowers back to the basket. Hops into the lane, drains it, and gets a whistle and a foul.
That's his game. Emil Flowers, he loves finishing inside of 10 feet. He loves contact. And he's strong enough to go up and finish through it sometimes. It's a nice play down on the block, a little post game. He's got the size advantage on Bruner. Why not go down there?
6'3", 180 pounds as he's listed, out of Grimsley High School in Greensboro, and he's just been a seamless fit in his freshman season into the starting lineup for Tubby Smith as he completes the three-point play. And High Point leads by 10.
Here's more of that Buckeye action from Upstate.
Into the corner, Hammond to the 3. Clangs off. Strong board by Aldrich. And Dalvin White reminding his teammates, we can slow this down if we want to. Against Flowers. Interesting timing, the deception there as he just floated it up in the lane.
That was a tough shot. High Point I think will live with that most of the time. Horns set again.
Randleman running the offense. Slay, after initially bobbling, pulls up from mid-range. His first miss.
They run that slice action off the horn set a couple times already tonight.
And again, Dalvin White, another tough runner. That time falling out of bounds and banking it in. Coleman for 3 on the other end, too strong. And a one and done for High Point.
High Point 6 of 11 shooting threes tonight. Zone for the Panthers in the half court too.
Hammond out to White, now across Mazzone. They're trying to get him open. Here's White with an open look, left it well short. Randleman looking underneath for Elmore. Anytime they've got just a little bit of transition, you can tell High Point really looking to focus on Lydell, and why wouldn't they? Pump fake on the pick and pop look. And the Panthers pulling back the reins a bit here. Just over 2 minutes until halftime. Slay, tough mid-range, nothing but net.
He got exactly what he wanted. Called off the last screen from Elmore, wanted to go ISO, flattened it out. Another nice pull-up from Denny Slay.
13 points for him. He's 5 of 7 from the field.
More of that zone from High Point.
White, stop start, gets into the lane. That time couldn't make good on it.
2 out of 3, the Meatloaf special.
And now High Point to slow things down. This is what Bryant Randleman is in this game for. Slay, typically an on-the-ball guy, but with his shooting, you want to see what you can do to get him open. Flowers traveled as he was tightrope walking at the baseline. It was either that or fall away out. These tires, right on our strength. Visit HerculesTires.com. Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit Geico.com today. And Sunbelt Rentals, we have equipment for that, as well as Planet Smoothie, the official pregame drink of High Point University basketball, and Novant Health. Get elite care for the elite athlete in you, the official partner of High Point Athletics. 8-point lead for the Panthers. John Michael Hughes, you see there, into the contest for the first time tonight for the Panthers. Sophomore into the backcourt defensively with Bryant Randleman.
More of that zone from High Point.
Started with a little bit of easy 3/4 of the floor pressure. Here's Mazzone. Too short on the 3. Zink was flying in for the follow, but couldn't grasp it.
Boy, he was up there too. Really nice attempt by Zink.
Under a minute until halftime in the Geico halftime report. Here on ESPN+. These two teams faced off 3 times a year ago. The regular season matchups were both won by 8 points exactly by High Point, and Flowers navigates through the lane, nearly hits it, and is fouled.
And Flowers may have, I don't know if it was intentional or not, but he may have actually set up a 2-for-1 possibility here with 37.1 left.
Then following, I mentioned the matchups last year, BG, following the regular season, these two met in the first round of the Big South Conference Tournament, and it was a heartbreaker for the Panthers, losing by 10 in Spartanburg. And ended their season as Flowers comes up empty-handed in the trip to the free throw line. High Point still ahead 8.
More zone.
Jernigan in to run the offense, possibly trying to get Hammond or Mazzone an open look. Here's Bryson Mazzone, and a foul off the ball on the screen. That's going to go against Nevin Zink.
High Point gets some offense back in for the final possession of the game. I thought it was interesting, too. They had Hughes atop the zone with Flowers down on the baseline. I think you're seeing teams do that a little bit more, put a little bit more size on top and length on top of the zone.
And a timeout call, just 30 seconds by Tubby Smith. We'll see what he wants to draw up here with 16 seconds remaining in the first half of action. And so far, so good for the Panthers, leading 36-28.
3 turnovers only. That's a huge number.
They had 23 in their most recent game, a loss at Eastern Kentucky. That was a huge bugaboo for them in that one.
They really struggled against some of these pressure-packed defenses like Eastern Kentucky. Game 1 against UNC Asheville, another team that wants to press and turn you over. And obviously, A.W. Hamilton, who's a Kevin Keats guy at Eastern Kentucky, they want to play fast, turn you over. And I thought along with the turnovers, High Point's, once they even got it to the half court, High Point's offense was so disjointed. Much better flow today, even without John Michael Wright, far and away their best offensive player.
Slay to bring it up the floor. You mentioned A.W. Hamilton, Eastern Kentucky's coach, formerly at Hargrave Military, which is where Bryson Childress was before joining the Panthers. And he gives to Slay in the corner as time expires. No shot off, so Slay remains perfect from three-point land. He's the leading scorer with 13 for High Point as the Panthers lead 36-28. Omega Sports, Pinnacle Financial Partners, and Sheets. Darren Vaught, Brian Geisinger with you here for the Geico Halftime Report. We'll get you a look at some highlights here shortly. BG, obviously High Point running very efficiently offensively so far. What have you seen with USC Upstate as we take a look at some of their more successful plays?
I think USC Upstate's actually run some good half-court offense. They've missed some good shots, just 2 of 10 shooting on threes. You know, Upstate's 40% three-point shooting team, so not quite up.
For the best in Big South coverage, visit BigSouthSports.com. Stay current with the latest news, results, stats, standings, and much more. Enjoy video features showcasing remarkable student athletes or connect to school sites or social media outlets all from one place. Remember, the source for all your conference information is BigSouthSports.com. Welcome back up to the historic Millis Center. The Geico Halftime Report. Darren Vaught, Brian Geisinger with you as we take a look at some team statistics now. High Point, just 3 turnovers. We mentioned it prior to the break. Compare that to as many as 23 in some of their other games this season. They're running the offense very efficiently, including that 6 of 11 from 3.
Yeah, those 2 numbers stand out more than anything else on that screen, right? The 6 of 11 on threes. Who doesn't love shooting above 50% from downtown? But the 3 turnovers is huge. This game has been mostly in the half court, only 4 turnovers from Upstate. And even in a half-court-driven game without John Michael Wright, the Panthers have still been efficient thanks to some great play from Denny Slay and Eric Coleman.
All right, now we welcome you back up into the booth in the Millis Center. Darren Vaught, Brian Geisinger, if we haven't said it enough. And, BG, before the contest started, we highlighted a couple of players, one for each team. Tommy Bruner, the leading scorer for USC Upstate, and Denny Slay into the starting lineup in place of John Michael Wright. Well, Bruner has 0 points, 0 of 3 from the field. Denny Slay is on fire and seemingly can't miss. He leads the scoring for the Panthers with 13. And what have you thought of Slay's performance? He's been sort of off and on all season long, including that nice 12-point spurt against Eastern Kentucky.
This is his third game now with double figures. He played well against Elon in the opener, too, if you remember. I've been a fan of Denny Slay for 2 seasons now. He can get places with his dribble. He's a pretty good shooter, and he plays heads-up basketball. Like, you can trust this guy with your half-court offense.
And frequently the offense starts with him, and he's the assist man. He's been changed today into the energetic scorer off the bench as well. Well, the Geico halftime report continues. Find the best variety of officially licensed merchandise in conference and school-branded items at BigSouthStore.com. Gear up with some new apparel or find that perfect gift. Get fully equipped for all your game day fun with BigSouthStore.com. Stay with us.
Are we back on camera again or no?
No, right?
No.
No more on cam?
Cool.
Beautiful.
Just so I can get out of these good people's way. I need to come behind.
I don't care. Kevin tried to come out, and I thought I did the thing again where I thought that we were going to on cam before the full screen, and I was like telling him, no, don't come through.
I saw you doing that
while reading. It was,
you were giving
had
him
I
the
been
stiff arm.
had I been right about when we were going on camera, it would have been impressive. But okay. Okay, perfect. And next 5 is there a read for that? Novant. Got it. Okay.
Oh, God. Winthrop beat Campbell by 1 today.
Ooh. And
they are undefeated, 6-0. Fastest team in the country.
Winthrop, they're good, man. I think it's them. I think it's them and everybody else.
Yeah, I think so, too. I actually like Asheville a lot. It's so much better from year 1 to year 2. He's moving better. He looks stronger, more confident down the block. Not a perfect pick-and-roll defender just yet, but the leaps and bounds that he's grown in space guarding ball screens I think is really impressive and something that will bode well for High Point like later this season and going forward the next couple of years.
That guy right there, senior Denny Slay, filling in admirably for John Michael Wright, the conference's leading scorer entering action today. 13 for Slay on 5 of 7 shooting, 3 of 3 from three-point range as starters back out on the floor. And we begin the second half.
Little baseline runner sets, double staggers for Slay and Flowers.
Lob underneath. Sanchez against Zink. Out. Flowers couldn't reel it in quick enough or cleanly enough for the 3. 5 to shoot for High Point. Slay, pull up. Off near iron, and Sanchez had a foot out of bounds at the baseline, so it stays, or goes rather, to USC Upstate.
You can see Upstate switched Aldridge. Late clock on that ball screen with Slay. Good contest from Aldridge. Little length, little shot blocking on top of Slay. We'll see how they continue to guard ball screens with Denny Slay in the second half.
Dalvin White gives to Bryson Mazzone. And a handoff to Tommy Bruner, team's leading scorer on the season. Scoreless so far. Can't get the layup to fall. He's just had a tough afternoon. As High Point with numbers now. Randleman slows things up. Elmore, quick hook, and it rattles through.
Nice touch from Elmore. Obviously, the dunks are great, but Elmore's got a nice little mid-range, mid-post game, too.
He's now into double figures. 10 points for Lydell Elmore. And that's the difference for High Point. Bruner waited on the screen. Now White with a good look for 3, and it's in.
It's a good decision there by Bruner. They blitz the ball screen. Nice pitch over to White for 3.
Second make from 3 for Dalvin White. Now he and Zink with 10 apiece for the Spartans.
There you go. Horn set. Stagger for Slay.
Sanchez drawing that second man. Flowers, one dribble, mid-range, and that drops in.
Like, basketball is really simple sometimes, right? You just throw it into the post. Let Hayden Sanchez work. If the double comes, pass to wherever that man came from. Nice pull-up shot by Flowers.
High Point shooting 55% from the field. And another one assisted. Number 11 for them as a team, as a scramble for it on the floor, and a timeout quickly called by Upstate as Stacy Palmore acting as the head coach. Wants a breather here on ESPN+. And YMCA of High Point as off-screen Nevin Zink with a monster jam for Upstate.
Yeah, that was a nice after timeout play drawn up by Upstate. Got a little empty side ball screen.
Sometimes they're written up so well that we can't even catch it as a production crew.
Yeah.
It was a quick score.
Zink's had a really nice game, and it was a good little pocket pass, too, by Bruner.
Ball stolen away by High Point. Randleman with the reins. Randleman works off the screen, gives to Flowers quickly on one touch. Now Sanchez trying to answer to Zink, and fouled as he pivots.
They're playing through Sanchez early in the second half here. Here you go, a little empty side ball screen off the handoff to the inbounder. Nice roll by Zink, and really nice little pocket pass from Bruner. He's had a couple nice dishes here after a tough first half.
Zink rattled the rim with that one. He's 5 of 8 from the field with 12 points to lead the way for the Spartans as Sanchez gets his first free throw to go down.
He's approaching a double-double here, too. 8 boards.
Sanchez now 9 of 14 from the free throw line. Make it 10 of 15 this season.
Puts really good rotation on that shot. He's got nice touch.
9-point High Point lead.
Little chin set here.
Bruner drew the double team. Sanchez quick to recover and get back to his man Zink. Big first step. Good D by Flowers. Bruner out to White. High rebound obtained by Randleman.
Good defensive possession by High Point.
Randleman quick to pull that head up and look forward. Nothing doing, and some miscommunication there as Flowers cut. Sanchez throws it out of bounds.
Just the 4th turnover today for High Point. That game against Eastern Kentucky, 28% of their offensive possessions ended in a turnover. Much better tonight.
White to Mazzone. Back to a man-to-man for High Point. Elmore tried to stab it away from Bruner. Quick pass to a cutting Mazzone, nearly lost it. Just 3 to shoot, 2. Last second shot by Aldridge, but he didn't get it off. Shot clock violation, and it's High Point basketball. And that brings us to the under 6. High Point hits 80 points or more. Shoot an email to sportsmarketing@highpoint.edu with your address and subject line, "It's Bow Time," to get your very own Bojangles coupon. That, again, only applies if High Point hits 80, which they aren't paced to do that at this moment, BG. But the last time they were here against North Florida, they broke 80. So their only other home game this season.
That's right. That was their most efficient offensive game of the season in terms of points per possession against the Osprey.
And a foul as Elmore goes to set the screen. That's his first.
High Point, little horn set after the timeout. Again, with that slice action that they've run a couple times out of that set, but well defended by the Spartans.
Jernigan. Hands to Bruner. Still scoreless. Now back to Jernigan, and it's knocked away, the intended pass to Aldrich.
Upstate's run this action a couple times tonight, too. Shoot one of the guards through the little elevated door screen, back screen to the weak side, and then they get to some continuity offense in the middle.
Eric Coleman into the game in place of Elmore. He's got 6 points on 2 of 3 from deep, and there's Tommy Bruner's first points on the made three.
Clean catch, you got a good look, perfect rotation on that shot. Big hit from Bruner.
He was 4 of 6 from 3 in their last game against Tennessee. And a foul against Cartier Jernigan.
Here you see House. Not a terrible closeout, but a little slow.
A little off kilter, too, right? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. You'd want to be a little more squared up. But, hey, I mean, they held him scoreless to this point. High Point's done a fantastic job with Bruner. His house hands to Childress, and the three is off the mark. And off the hand of Alex Holt to give it back to Upstate.
Yeah, I really don't think High Point can do that type of action enough in this game, though. But Childress flying off handoffs and down screens. It's likely to produce pretty good results.
He's 1 of 2 from 3 now, as Jernigan bounces underneath, and Zink had a wide open lane as he got behind Holt.
Zink's playing very well today for Upstate.
Now 6 of 9 from the field. He leads the way for the Spartans with 14.
He was strong at Tennessee the other week too.
House just rolls off the rim. Aldrich, a jab step, nowhere to go, but the block into Zink, and it's worked pretty well so far. He gets a foul there.
Yeah, they're going to go into Zink every time they got single coverage with Holt down there.
So Zink goes to the line as he favors his arm, making his way there.
You see, no double really comes. Able to spin on that left shoulder. Holt with the bailout foul.
Zink 2 of 3 from the line so far, just a rebound shy of a double-double. And now he has 15 as Caden Sanchez and Bryant Randleman re-enter. Randleman's seen more minutes than usual for this season.
He's had a nice floor game tonight. He's taking care of the ball, no turnovers. Just created a few shots off the dribble, scored once down on the post.
Zink 2 for 2 in the trip, now with 16 points, brings it within 2. 7 straight points for Upstate. Sanchez looking to break the streak, into the drought, however you want to put it, for High Point, and we'll go to the line.
Third post up for Sanchez this half. They can do a little baseline runner action there and then throw it into Sanchez on the near side block. Able to get back to the free throw line.
Goes against Everett Hammond. Third team foul as Sanchez hits his first. Sanchez, perfect 4 for 4 from the stripe. He's got 4 points. And High Point leads by 4 with 44.
A little full court pressure here. Soft pressure, retreating down into the zone.
That's what we saw at the end of the first half for High Point. Aldrich tied up, extra pass down into the corner. Hammond, the pump fake, penetrates, rolls off iron. Zink, of course, there for the rebound. He now has a double-double. Hammond for 3. It rattles out. That's a tough board by Randleman to get it back to High Point.
Nice contest by Coleman to maybe influence that shot late.
Randleman deep into the defense and dishes out to the perimeter. And without a crowd, I guess they would be doing this anyways on the road. The Upstate bench getting its own defense chant started.
I like it.
There's Jaden House, sneaky with the right.
He can drive, man. Like, he's got a good first step, good first dribble. He's not super skinny. Like, he's got a little power to his game. I think House can develop into a nice offensive piece.
He now has 3 points. That's his first make from the field. Man down for High Point. Leaves somebody open for Upstate as Bruner dribbles inside and buries it.
Upstate's doing a nice job passing the ball around the zone, forcing some of these hard closeouts from High Point and playing off some of that advantage. Horn set here again, High Point.
Hard screen from Sanchez there at the top of the key. He'll set another. Childress the high screen, pull up. Rattles off. And Jernigan will slow things down.
No double on Zink.
Extra pass down into the corner. Hammond wide open. And the miss, but an offensive rebound for Upstate.
High Point's disjointed
defensively. Misses the
defensively.
floater. All ball as Aldrich loses it, and it was deflected off of Hammond. So High Point with the basketball. That was a scrappy defensive set for the Panthers, bringing us to the on Car Insurance. 11:05 to play. High Point gripping a 4-point lead as Upstate has really ratcheted up the pressure. They've started getting more open shots offensively, and they're making this interesting.
A little bit of zone from Upstate after the timeout, too.
Denny Slay back into the game for High Point. Leads the Panthers in scoring with 13, and they're a turnover. Yeah. It's Randleman's first.
Yeah, third of the second half for High Point. They had 3 all in the entire first half.
Tommy Bruner, 5 points. He's gotten it going here in the second. Misses. Elmore can't hang on to it, and it's on the floor. And ruled out of bounds. I believe the ruling is that it was last touched by Hammond.
Yeah, I think so. Great hustle by Denny Slay.
Yeah, that's a great break for High Point.
Yeah.
Let's have another look.
I don't know if he even got the ball or what happened here, but it looked cool seeing Denny go after it like that. Yeah, there you go, Hammond.
He just had the knee out, but he did have possession. Otherwise, I mean, Slay went flying out of bounds first, so I would have assumed it was off of him.
All right, back to that zone for Upstate.
Slay open in the zone. Can't get the 3 to fall. Good box out, and the board for Hammond.
Nice flare screen from Sanchez to get Slay open on that look. Just couldn't can the jumper.
Hammond into the lane. Nice move to get around Sanchez. Can't get it to fall. A lot of one-and-dones today for Upstate.
Back to the man-to-man.
Sanchez hit the high screen for Slay. Now Flowers, tough shot as Zink came to help, but it drew a foul. Flowers to the line.
Yeah, Flowers has gotten to the line a couple times tonight.
Second personal foul on Nevin Zink here.
Yep.
And on the help defense, just
little reckless on the close there by Zink.
Met Flowers at the apex. Almost gave him a high five there.
Yeah, it looked like he got him upper body and lower body on that shot.
It's the 4th team foul for Upstate. As Flowers goes to the line, he's 1 of 3 so far today. But gets his first to go there. And Bryson Childress back in for Bryant Randleman. Yeah. There's Kadarius Smith back in for Upstate, giving Zink a breather. Just a couple of minutes for Smith in the first half.
They can't have Zink on the bench too long. I mean, he's been the best source of offense for them.
Flowers' second is true. Now a 6-point lead for High Point. Light pressure from the Panthers, and they fall back into the zone. Bruner after the screen. Aldrich wide open on the wing. And another 3-point miss for Upstate. Now 4 of 16, Elmore. Jump pass to Flowers, and they'll reset with Slay. Everett Hammond, a lot lengthier than Bryson Childress. It's going to be tough for him to get a look for 3, as that one knocked away and out of bounds. by Jernigan as he tried to save it. Bounces right back up. That was a hard hit.
Yeah, that didn't look like it. That didn't look fun. I'll be honest with you.
It was a great hustle play, but you saw there, had the foot down into the railing in front of the stands there. That could not have felt good.
Box set on the baseline out of bounds here for High Point.
And Slay got his man in the air at the end of the shot clock. Draws the foul from Jernigan. That is a heady play from the senior.
Denny Slay's played great tonight. You know, he is the closest facsimile on this roster to JMW, right? Because he's a pretty good shooter, can create off the bounce a little bit. Man, he's bailed out a couple possessions for them.
Gives up a little bit of height comparatively to John Michael Wright, but a tough enough player to where, I mean, we've seen him as he hits the first there, matched up with much lengthier guys. Jernigan, maybe the smallest of them.
One of my favorite lineups for them last season was when they played Slay, John Michael Wright, and Jamal Wright together. That three-guard lineup was pretty potent for them at times.
Slay gets both to fall at the free throw line. He now has 15. Those were his first free throws of the night, just his third and fourth of the season, and there's another Flowers steal.
Yeah, Aldridge goes to the nail, but not a very confident turn and face in the pass. Easy steal for Flowers.
Back up to 8 points the lead, 8 minutes to play for the Panthers.
Roll replace action for Elmore.
Elmore for three. Soft bounce off the front of the rim there, and a strong board by Kydarius Smith.
It's an open look for Elmore. You'll take it. Switch.
Hammond, he's wanted to handle this second half. Elmore got fingertips on that.
Yeah.
That'll go down as a block.
He's a really versatile defender. Lots of deflections and help and ball screen action, and he can switch out on guards, move his feet.
You saw Dalvin White there defensively call for a chant. A little bit of energy out of the Upstate bench, and Smith, the offensive foul. You could see that one coming from a mile away.
Great play by Emil Flowers to get back and set up for that shot.
Thanks to the following partners for supporting High Point Basketball: Archdale Bakery, College Foundation of North Carolina, Planet Smoothie, Sharp Company, and TNT Dynamite Branding. Darren Vaught, Brian Geisinger with you for this college basketball presentation on ESPN+. High Point with an 8-point lead, 50-42 the count. Exiting the under 8 media timeout in the second half. Denny Slay gets into the lane. Out to Emil Flowers, who drew the charge prior to the break that gave it back to High Point.
Smaller lineup for the Panthers here, too.
Slay the handoff to Childress and then Flowers. After the crossover, lost his handle a bit out of control, but he draws the foul from Dalvin White.
You can see what Tubby Smith wanted after the timeout there. We're going to space the court. Flowers at 5, Coleman at 4. And see if Flowers and Slay can get into gaps.
That is an attribute for the freshman Emil Flowers that you don't expect necessarily out of a first-year collegiate player. Again, he was a bit out of control as he was fouled, BG, but just the control to be able to go through your legs, give a couple crosses on your defender, and take it to the rack whether there's contact or not.
He likes contact, too. He really does. It's something, I think the first time I watched him play, that was sort of like what lit up on the tape. Not afraid to stick his nose in on finishes.
Now 9 points for the freshman as the traveling violation gives it back to High Point, and they're on to something. Upstate had gotten it within 4 here in the second half. Back to double digits, the lead for the Panthers as well as possession.
Little bit of everything from Lydell Elmore tonight. 10 points, including 2 off that 1 dunk. 2 blocks, a steal. He's guarded a couple different positions.
Slay wanted Elmore on the block there. Yeah. And turns it over.
Zeke was sitting on the pass there.
Zink with an easy look, too, on the pick and roll. Yeah. Off the Bruner assist.
I think that may have been Flowers that missed helping down off that ball screen. Zink was wide open for Bruner.
Flowers against Mazzone. Bounces to the baseline. Elmore kicks back out. There's Eric Coleman Jr. back into the game. Weaves his way through the lane. Tried to zip it underneath. And again, going after Elmore. Ball stolen away by Upstate. And Mazzone flies into the seats.
That was a nice defensive play, though, by Mazzone down here on the other end. And even though he turned the ball over, Eric Coleman's doing a nice job moving without the basketball in this game. Like, he is a couple times now late in the clock, darted open, darted above the three-point line, either hit a shot or tried to put it on the deck and make a play.
I think from Tubby Smith's perspective, too, BG Coleman, 2 for 3. He's got those couple of three-point makes, and Childress mishandled the ball, trying to put it through his legs. Results in the double dribble. But back to Coleman. I think it's comforting for him, for the coaching staff for High Point. We talked about his impact as the secondary scorer behind JMW a season ago. I can sense a bit of relief for him. There's not as much pressure. He's able to just organically let the game happen as he's now out of the contest.
Look, without Rob Peterson, active, a very solid two-way player for High Point, you need to get something from Coleman at that sort of like flex forward position.
Mazzone falling away to beat the shot clock. Offensive rebound for Upstate, and Bruner dribbles it off Elmore's foot, so it stays with the Spartans.
Boy, some awkward possessions here the last minute.
There have been periods of clunkiness. Toward the beginning of this one, neither team could hit shots, and then Denny Slay really was the pacemaker for the Panthers. And then this one, the lead's back up to 8, but High Point's given Upstate ample opportunity to get back in it. Here's Bruner, and the mid-range rattles in.
Tough shot. Just over the outstretched arms of Emil Flowers.
Now 7 points for Tommy Bruner.
He shook off a tough first half. He's been pretty good in the second period here for Upstate.
4.5 to play. 6-point Panthers lead. Randleman against Mazzone. Pulls up. Had it knocked away. More good defense for the Spartans. And they'll slow things down. Tommy Bruner looks a lot more confident for certain here in the second half. Got the mismatch against Sanchez there.
High Point able to switch back.
And Zink has it swatted away, but a whistle and a foul. Elmore was coming in to help, but I still think it's on Sanchez. It will go against Caden Sanchez. Zink to the free throw line on the other side, under 4 to play. Rentals, we have equipment for that. Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com today. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength. Visit HerculesTires.com. And Sweet Old Bills, the official post-game destination of High Point Athletics, as Nevin Zink readies himself for a couple of free throws following the final media timeout. Trying to get Upstate back into this one. Trailing by 6. Zink has really been the standard bearer for Upstate so far this evening. A double-double, 19 points now after the made free throw, 10 boards.
He's shooting 69% at the rim this season. Like, when he can stay on the court and avoid foul trouble, he's a very productive interior player for Upstate.
Misses the tail end. He shot 62% from the field last year, and then the year before that led the team. He was in the high 50s, but each of his 2 seasons with the team, he's led them in field goal percentage. He's been a very good player now in year number 3 for Dave Dickerson and company. Down to a 5-point High Point lead. Flowers got to the basket, had it tipped right back to him and slams it home.
Nice little burst there on the putback spike, the second jump there by Flowers. But I think just getting to the rim, he missed the inside hand finish, but making something happen for High Point opened up the second chance opportunity.
High Point now with 21 dunks on the season, BG. They had 24 all of last season. Nearly coming away with a fast break steal there.
A lot of that's Lydell Elmore, but don't forget JMW has 3 dunks, I believe, already this year too.
Well, and if you're Tubby Smith and you bring in freshmen like Flowers, who off of a couple of bunnies like that can just flat-footed go up and hammer it down, that certainly changes things. Coleman bodied on his way to the basket. And it's time, BG, to name our Hercules Tires strong move of the game. As this one, the earlier dunk, Lydell Elmore in transition. And you said it in real time here. You were like, where's Lydell? Where's Lydell?
Yep.
The pass back, and he throws it down. That's the strong move of the game presented by Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength. Eric Coleman at the free throw line makes good on the first. So he'll get a second. 8 team fouls for Upstate with 2:43 to play here.
Elmore earned that dunk too, because it was his deflection that triggered the transition opportunity. Then he runs the floor, goes rim to rim. At least 1 dunk in 7 straight games for Lydell Elmore.
High rebound pulled in by Zink. That's his 11th. As he pads his stats with this double-double. And loses possession there to Eric Coleman. And the call's out of bounds. Coleman came away with the steal, but then had, I believe, an elbow at the baseline. Good scrappy play from High Point.
You can see he digs down on that entry pass from Hammond. Wasn't the cleanest of post-entry looks. Helps out Caden Sanchez against Nevin Zink. Here comes the double again from High Point.
Now Bruner draws some attention, floats it back. Hammond, a tough pull up, and it drops in.
He can get his own shot, man. He can do that.
He has 8. A voluminous shooting day for Everett Hammond, just 3 of 11 from the field.
Shooter's got to shoot.
I mean, he's capable, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're an Everett Hammond.
Second on the team in usage behind Bruner, too.
Sanchez wanted Slay cutting there.
Upstate iced that ball screen.
5 to shoot. Flowers bailed out by contact from Tommy Bruner. That's number 3 on Bruner, 9 on Upstate, and it sends Flowers to the line. High Point doing a fair job, I would say, BG, of icing this one. Trying to close this game out as Flowers hits the first, meaning he'll get a second in the 1-and-1.
Yeah, this will be his 9th free throw attempt, too, for Flowers.
6 of 8 so far. 12 points for the freshman to go with 4 assists. Make it 13.
Boy, simple routine at the free throw line, too. Catch it and shoot it.
Hammond trying to push the tempo. Dings it off the rim, and Zink has been so reliable there today. Another offensive board and another putback. And guess what? He got fouled again. So he goes to the free throw line to shoot number 8 from the stripe.
Yeah, right at the front of the rim. Sanchez leapt up to contest the initial drive against Hammond. That took him out of the play. Zink able to get the second chance opportunity.
Zink 65% entering today. His 8th is up and no good. He's now 5 of 8. Bryant Randleman got by his primary defender. Good job to sneak the shot up.
That's like one of the best drives he's maybe had in his entire career. I know that sounds hyperbole, but crossover to his right hand, his offhand. You see what he did? He pinned the defender on his back there too. It's like, you know, every point guard in the world learns that from Chris Paul. That's his little move.
Randleman just 62% from the free throw line a year ago. That makes him 50% at 5 of 10 after that first miss. Only 6 minutes at Eastern Kentucky. Randleman working on his 27th minute of action tonight. He's really, I mean, not a stat sheet stuffer of a role as Sanchez Banks it in after the miss. That was a neat little tap from Randleman, too. I hope he gets credited with the assist.
Just the 4th offensive rebound for High Point, but it may have been the thing that salts this game away for them.
Sanchez, a great offensive rebounder in his own right. And gets the block there to go with it.
His 3rd block of the game.
A foul on the floor with 47.7 on the clock as it will stop. And Bryant Randleman back to the free throw line. He'd like to make these. He's had a couple of late game situations this year where he, hits 1 of 2. That last set, 0 of 2.
He's a really talented offensive player. Like, he can do a lot of different things, but shooting from beyond the arc, shooting from the line are two missing pieces for Randleman at this point.
He's an interesting talent, right? I mean,
is.
As a freshman last year, out of necessity, probably played a lot more than his role justified, but certainly usable. I mean, he's been polished and effective in ways that, again, don't show up in the box score for Tubby Smith.
He has moments defensively for them, too.
How about that? A 4th block for Caden Sanchez.
Huge.
When it matters, just shut down the guy who, for Upstate, has been most impressive of anybody tonight.
It's two really big plays from Sanchez here down the stretch. He's a sneaky good shot blocker. About 6% block rate for his entire career. He's not a high riser, but he just times stuff well. He's in good position.
Yeah, I think some viewers may associate somebody like a Lydell Elmore as being a good shot blocker, and certainly when he comes over as a secondary help defender with his leaping ability, he has plenty capability.
Yeah.
Sanchez as the direct defender is really good, like you mentioned, just being in position to throw the hand straight up and get a piece of the shot.
He's such a burrowing offensive player. Like, he wants those up and under moves. He plays underneath guys. But yeah, defensively, he can jump up and block a shot.
That foul, by the way, was on Josh Aldrich, who is now out of the contest. That was his 5th DQ'd for Upstate. And a foul against Alex Holt.
That's his 4th.
Sends Everett Hammond to the free throw line.
Well, not to speak too soon here, but I think this is a really impressive performance from High Point. You're missing 2 of your best players, arguably your best defender, certainly your best defensive big guy in Azunabor, the guy that you route a lot of your pick and roll coverage through defensively. And then John Michael Wright, like far and away the best offensive player on this roster, one of the
maybe
best
in the
guards.
conference.
Yeah, absolutely. Was very good last year as a freshman and has taken strides this year. And I don't know, for High Point to put up this 2-way performance, get a conference win most likely is pretty impressive.
Hammond gets the first. This is the second. And we will traverse the length of the court. Everyone, all 10 players. And more free throws for High Point as Elmore goes to the line. Two of 2 so far tonight. He's got 10 points, 7 boards, a couple of blocks, a steal.
And a couple deflections, too. We've talked about this. Like, I'm certain that's something the staff charts, and including the possession that he got the dunk on. Like, that Emil Flowers got credited with the steal, but it was created by Lydell Elmore.
It's the tail end there. Hammond really aggressive on the other end of the floor. Hits his knees. Bryson Childress the foul. That's just the team 6th on High Point. So an out-of-bounds play for the Spartans as they trail by 11, 22 and a half seconds on the clock.
Watch the handoff action in the corner. Yeah, they do this every play.
Childress was all over it. Good fill, and that allows for the Flowers steal.
His 3rd of the game.
It's across the timeline, and High Point will dribble it out and polish off an 11-point victory. Their first conference win of the season, their 2nd in 2 home games. including a non-conference win against North Florida. So Tubby Smith will go into re-racking this matchup tomorrow.